This is sorry for the delay, folks, but the MegaMets Podcast is back for our predictions of AEW Dynasty 2024, coming to us live from the
MegaMets Arena in St. Louis, Missouri.
Right.
Also, this is AEW's first pay-per-view event to be held in that state.
Yeah, that's an ironic. But then again, wasn't trying to compete with the WWE with multiple pay-per-views every month what killed WCW?
What? WCW? I remember when they decided to go. WWE went, WCW went 7, WWE went 7. Then they went 10. 7 worked. 10, this is Eric Bischoff's words. 7 worked. 10 worked better. Why not one a month?
Because you're stretching the money thin. And then again,
you're also stretching the talent thin too, because I'll just say this: the talent need time to rest and rejuvenate.
So to be fair, one wouldn't say it wasn't really Bischoff or Russo that killed WCW. It was Hogan and how he basically strong-armed WCW into being a knockoff of late 80s, early 90s WWE.
And it did not work. It worked back then, but it doesn't work now.
Anyway, let's start this off. We kick it off with a winner-takes-all 6-man tag match for both the Ring of Honor World 6-man and AEW World Trios. The Acclaimed, with Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, along with Billy Gunn, team up against Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and the Guns, Austin and Colten.
This is going to be a fun match.
The former hold the AEW Trios, and the latter hold the ROH 6-man. We knew at some point the Bang Bang Scissor Gang was going to dissolve, but I didn't think it would be like that in the way it did.
I didn't think it was going to be like that either.
If I had to go on a limb here, I'm giving this to the Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang indeed. It's winner take all. Whoever wins it all.
I say too sweet.
Yes, indeed.
Trent Berretta against Matt Sydal. They finally pulled the trigger on Berretta, finally going full-blown heel. We know this is setting up him against Orange Cassidy, probably a double or nothing in a street fight, in a in-city street fight or something.
More or less, it's going to set things up, I think.
This match, Sydal is can fodder. I'm taking Berretta. All these in the 0 hour for those ones.
I'm giving it also to Berretta.
The tag team of Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata against Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty with Anthony Ogogo.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Orange has been taking a lot of L's. Should we give him another one?
Yeah, he deserves an L.
STP it is.
Now that we got the pre-show out of the way, let's get to the main card.
Yep. Trios match. The House of Black against AEW TNT champion Adam Copeland, New Japan Strong Openweight champion Eddie Kingston, and the new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight champion Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, that's a stacked trios match, all right.
I mean, they're slowly but surely getting ready to turn Eddie heel. When that happens, I say in a month after he drops the Strong title to Gabe Kidd at Resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
So, we give it to the heels?
I'd say the heels deserve it.
Agreed. Next up. FTW rules for the FTW title. Chris Jericho versus challenges Hook. Just get the title off Hook already. I mean,
Chris at least deserves that win.
I mean, true, Jericho doesn't need this title, but the way they've been building up Jericho to be this psycho heel that's trying to tell Hook he ain't ready, it makes sense to take the belt off Hook and put it on Jericho. Grant, I don't know how long Jericho's going to hold it. Just don't make it too long. But then again, we're just spinning wheels by leaving this belt on Hook. Just retire the damn thing already. And put it back in the Center Cup family trophy case. The Senrekius trophy case. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I believe, in my opinion, Jericho should win it. Hook had it long enough, so it's my guess that Jericho should win it.
Yeah. Next up, the international title. Roderick Strong against his former buddy, Kyle O'Reilly. This is a match that kind of worries me when you take one thing into account. Ring rust. Kyle hasn't been in the ring full time in almost 2 years due to the surgery he had to get.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing.
Is he at 100%? Is he at 80%? Is he even 10%? Note this. If Riley's anything like Tanahashi, he'll go no matter what percentage he's at. But his body has taken a lot of dings, and he hasn't had a lot of ring time in the last couple of years. On that alone, I'm giving this to Roderick to retain.
I agree. Roderick should retain.
Next up, House Rules match for the AEW TBS title. Willow Nightingale with Stokely Hathaway challenges the Black Queen, Julia Hart.
Yep. It's in House Rules. No rope breaks, enforced DQs, and a 20-second count out.
I always thought that meant anything goes.
Yeah, basically anything goes.
Willow's going to need to pull every trick out of the bag, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Statlander shows up and turns on Willow.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
But logical when you think about it. Wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, should we give this one to Hart?
Yep.
Okay. Julia wins. And then we get her against Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing on May 26th. That's going to be good.
Oh, it'll be very, very good.
That said, I got to admit, I'm impressed with how far Julia has come, going from a cheerleader to this goth queen psychopath. Wouldn't you agree?
Agreed.
Next up, for the AEW Continental title, the Bastard Pack challenges the newest member of the Elite, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. I can somewhat understand why Okada made his debut as a heel because he returned to New Japan as a heel. But honestly, given how much exposure he got in New Japan and predominantly as a babyface, going back to 2015 when New Japan started going 14-15 when New Japan started going global.
Yeah.
It's difficult to boo against Okada.
It's sort of like back in the 90s with Jim Ross, when Jim Ross became a heel. But despite that,
Williams.
Do you remember when Jim Ross became heel?
Yeah, both times. The fake Razor, fake Diesel thing in 96, which didn't go over.
And the Stephen Williams one.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Jim Ross. Even if he was a heel, you can't. It's impossible to boo someone like that.
Yeah, and the latter case was mostly due to he only flew to Cooper a short amount of time due to personal issues revolving around the death of his mother.
Yeah. God rest her soul.
Yeah,
losing someone can really hurt you in the worst possible way.
Yeah, Jim really got hurt in 2017 when he lost his wife in a motorcycle accident.
That's messed up.
Anyway, make it rain. Okada retains.
Yes, indeed. Okada, you deserve that retain.
Mostly because, given his mental state, I don't really see the Bastard as a babyface.
I don't either. I have to wonder if he's the kind of guy people love to hate. Like a bad guy who wants to be hated.
I mean, when he shifted character in 2017, you would think late 2016, early 2017, you would think that. And he's been consistent with that stick for years. I mean, joining one of the most villainous factions at the time in Dragon Gate, RED, and winning their Open the Dream Gate title.
Yeah.
Showing up in What Culture Defiant for a couple of times, even though he's welcomed back as a hero. And they announced him as saying he's the Bastard. Or he's a bastard. But still, I can't really see the Bastard coming out on top in this one.
Agreed.
For the AEW World Tag Titles, in a ladder match for the vacated belts.
Part of the AEW tournament, of course.
Right. FTR versus the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks went through quite a lot in their matches.
Yeah, Young Bucks had to beat Private Party and Best Friends after a first round bye to get to this point.
As for
FTR,
FTR, they also got a first round bye.
yeah, defeating the Infantry and Top Flight.
That's insane.
Key factor to me is fatigue in between matches coupled with the run-ins. Collectively, the Young Bucks finished their matches on an average of 13 minutes. On average, for FTR, let's see, 28 minutes and 8 seconds, 14 minutes and 4 seconds. And given that the Bucks are more willing to take shortcuts, granted that's a moot point since there's no DQ in this match, and they are the EVPs of AEW, might as well give this to Matthew and Nicholas, something that should have been done last month at Revolution.
I have to agree with you on that. The Young Bucks should get it.
Next up, Timeless Tony Storm defends the AEW Women's Championship against a returning Thunder Rosa. I mean, I get they're having Tony basically knock off a lot of AEW's OG Women's Champion top dogs, but honestly, who's this setting up for? Britt Baker has been MIA for over a year, so I'm not sure if it's her. And I don't even know if Mrs. Hager was released from her contract. Do you?
I'm not sure. But if I were to pick who would win, it's tough between Thunder Rosa or Toni Storm. The thing is, Toni Storm has advantage. She has Mariah May and Luther by her side.
True. That numbers game will catch up with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, that numbers game is gonna actually determine that.
I'm giving it to Timeless Tony.
Timeless Tony retains. Now we get to the good stuff. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
This will steal the show from Swerve versus Joe.
I don't know why, but it is. You got two of the most talented athletes in wrestling. William Peter Charles Ospreay on one side and Brian Lloyd Danielson in the other.
But it's also a conflict of morality when you look at it from Will's angle. Keep in mind, he's part of the Don Callis family. In my view, a group that is the antithesis of everything that Will believes in. Because even when he formed the United Empire in New Japan 2020, sure, it came through taking a shortcut to form it. But after that, did Will really resort to shortcuts when he formed the United Empire? Not really.
What do you mean shortcuts? You don't need shortcuts.
Will is a guy who would prefer if Don Callis just keep his nose out of the match. True, he won the IWGP US title off Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door last year due to shortcuts, i.e. the screwdriver and Don Callis sticking his nose where it didn't need to be. But the point is this. When you consider that his United Empire brother Kyle Fletcher is part of the DCF, can he put that out of his mind? In my view, I don't know. To me, this is going to boil down to who's going to hit that kill shot. Will it be the Busaiku knee? Or will it be the Hidden Blade? Will it be the Stormbreaker? Or will it be the Label Lock? Will it be cattle mutilation? Or will it be the Oz Cutter? Or that comes out on top.
This is tough to decide, and I'm not going to lie to you. Both of them are very talented. They're very skilled, and they're very good.
But it boils down to the run-in factor.
Yes, it is.
This could either help Will or screw him over. Because if he tries to send Callis away, he's screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But if Callis does it behind his back without him knowing, Will might win.
Uh-huh.
So almost down the line, we've given the victories on this card to the heels, have we not?
Yeah.
And while Will is labeled a heel, I can't really boo against him. I mean, sure, he had a lot of fans turn on him during the pandemic, during the Speak Out movement, of which he was acquitted. So I want to ask a couple of guys I used to hang with this week in the world of wrestling, why is it you haven't forgiven Will for what happened? I've forgiven him for it. Let the fuck go.
Exactly. Let it go and move on. That's something Nayuta Sadmari would say.
Who?
From the Ace Attorney series. He'll always say, let it go and move on.
Oh. If I have to pick, I'm giving this to Will.
If I have to pick, I'm picking Daniel. I mean, Bryan Danielson.
Fair enough. Finally, main event, Samoa Joe versus Swerve, defending the AEW World title against Swerve. It's going to be a tough one to pick. I mean, they're both out for blood in this one.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Especially when you consider Swerve signed the contract for this match in his own blood.
Yep.
But who's going to be on the GOAT shot? I mean, in my view, the smart money, at least in the short term, it would make sense to put it on Swerve, but then the trade-off is you possibly make him a transitional champion. The long-term plan would be to keep it on Joe, especially when you consider that sooner or later, Adam Cole is coming to collect. True or false?
I say true.
At that point, you turn Joe face. But the problem is with how slow Adam is at recovering from his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know when that's going to be, and that may unfortunately come at the detriment of making Joe's reign even more stagnant.
I know.
But unfortunately, we might as well make do with what's on hand. I'm taking Joe to retain the AEW World title.
I also say Joe will retain.
Swerve, you've done good in this babyface push, but in this case, Joe's gonna kill you.
Exactly.
That's all the time for the MegaMets podcast tonight. Tune in next. Want to do a ball game? Do an NBA game call at some point?
Depends. Depends on the time.
Okay, let's see. And my ABC or TNT coverage. You know, the latter I have to do through NBA's overtime. Let's see.
Made up your mind?
You want to do Lakers Nuggets next Saturday night, 8:30?
Sure, I'll be there for that.
Or do you want to do next Sunday afternoon, Knicks Sixers Game 4?
I think the one at 8:30 would be nice.
Okay, Lakers Nuggets it is, even though we're Knicks fans.
Yeah, even though I know the Knicks won't even make it past the first round.
They've got Philadelphia. They're up 6 right now.
Yeah, they're dealing with the process.
On a bummed wheel.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's it for tonight. As we mentioned, tune in next Saturday night, April 27th, when we cover Game 4 of the NBA West Conference first round between the defending champion Nuggets and an aging LeBron LA Lakers. Fuck the Lakers, in my view.
Mm-hmm.
Till then, we must bid you adieu. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Goodbye, and good night. Bang.
Yes, indeed.